Okay, guys, let me start the session and just to 1 minute. So, 28 started, and but is it a session? No, it's bonus session, so I should not write here. Uh, okay, fine. Let me write because generally I don't write anything about bonus session here. Anyways, let me write. So, um, bonus session on this class, and let's proceed. So, first of all, here, uh, so regrets for the delay because of some other meeting. I could not start the session, so regrets for the same. And now let me tell you the target or plan for this session. Actually, this session we are planning or we have planned to give you some idea about understanding on some scenario or in one scenario about my project or my company's project or one scenario of Interlogic, because here we have recently seen one requirement. We have worked on that. It's completed also. But just I wanted to give that benefit to you, and that's why even though it's not part of syllabus, I just wanted to give you this details. Okay. So what we have done right now, just understand in first of all the problem statement. Let me tell you the problem statement how we can do this. Okay, pay attention. I'm telling you problem statement. Let me see also if you can give any kind of answer for this, okay, or any kind of solution for this. Let us see what you guys will do. Okay, interesting scenario. Suppose, and by the way, this was done by let's say us in the lead object. The project activity which we are done, that was done on lead object. Okay, so this same code I'm going to show you only just by changing the client name or such kind of information, because we have used email address of vendor in our business that I have removed, and now this is something is the code. So please note this is the code I have simply copied and pasted from the project work which we have done. There are lots of other lines, other things, other navigations, other context variable code that I removed because our topic is interested, or our today's topic is interested only on one scenario, that is how user specific testing can be done. Okay, so in fact let me write here the specific agenda: testing or testing by code for a specific user, or user specific test class. Okay, that's why I have only kept that code in my project, and remaining all the useless information for you I have removed. Okay, next. So this is the project activity we have done in Interlogic on the lead object. Fine. So everything is same here. Only I removed the customer confidential information. I have just made here XXX that I removed. Okay. See now, the requirement is that in the trigger, whenever any lead record is inserted, okay, before insert, is if it before insert, before and before scenario, then we need to call this class, we need to call this function. Okay, this class, this function, and pass this trigger dot new. Pass this trigger dot new. Fine. Now in this case we call this function, and we are accepting here lead records, right? We are accepting here lead records. Now I'm processing here for loop. I'm processing one by one lead record by using var L. Okay, the variable, a temporary box in which I'm taking all the values from this list. So let's say I'm getting 10 leads records. I'm taking one by one. And for your kind information, just to help you with the backup or maybe background, please note that lead is a standard object in Salesforce. So please note here this lead is a standard object in Salesforce. Okay. So you don't need to create new. I'm just taking that standard object example because it's already in your case as well. So I'm taking one record and processing. If I'm checking here, if user is James Katie, I'll do one thing. I have removed my client's company name. I will do one thing. I will give any Gmail, for example. Okay, because he is our vendor in that business. Okay, so means for customer he is a vendor. So if the user information dot get user email. Now you will learn one more important thing here, that if you want to get the information about current users, currently logged in user's email address, then there is a very simple function, that user info dot get user email, a very useful technique to understand who is current user, and as per that take a decision. So this is one more benefit you will be getting by this code. What a useful scenario to get the information about who is the current user. Okay, so current user dot user info dot get user in email. Please note, in this, user info is a class, system class. Get user email is a system a function. Everything ready in Salesforce. You have to do nothing. And such all the list of functions and all at the end of the syllabus, you are anyways going to get from my side. So if this is equal to jamesketty@gmail.com, then I have selected here this comparison, and I said only in this case this person should be able to proceed, and I will write a description here, where L dot description, because there is a field in the lead object. Just give 1 minute. So guys, here let me show you by going to lead object. Just click on the lead record and click on new button, and you can see here in the description. Okay, so here we wanted to mention that this lead is created by vendor, because see, in that customer's business, that James was a vendor. Okay, please note this point. So here this message wanted to be there. Okay, okay, this message should be coming here. Copy this, copy this, and as soon as lead record is created, this message should come here. That's it. This is what customer wanted from us. Okay, fine, this will happen because that guy is a vendor. Okay, so leads are being created by vendor, not by any normal person. Okay, now after this, suppose this person is not James, then he should get error by this error message. But read this code now. Please read this code one more time. I will give you 1 more minute. Tell me any kind of questions you have from this code. Just read the requirement properly and tell me. I will wait for 1 more minute. Read it properly. Then I will show you the next requirement. Please read this code. Okay, sorry guys, there was a call from office from my manager, so I had to pick the call. Fine. So let me now proceed and let me tell you about the questions. So please note there is a question about from any user other than James. We can use anything. I just copied my code of my project, so James came here automatically. But anyways, anything is fine. Second question, get user email. I already answered this thing. What is the meaning of get user email? So that is already done. And second thing here, error message will be pop up. No, it will come as a on the screen. It will show you as a kind of red color mark. Anyways, I will show you that also. And just let me now show you the output of this. Pay attention. See here. Let me show you the output of this. Let me log into Salesforce and let me go to developer console. And please note, get user email is going to give the email address of the currently logged in user in Salesforce. Currently logged in user in Salesforce. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now for you open or show you the trigger. Okay. I'm going to show you the trigger on the screen. So let's say this is the trigger. Okay. I'm going to practically show you. And after that, I'm going to also open the Apex class. I'm going to also show you Apex class. And here we go. So I just added Gmail here. Okay. And that's it. And please note for this, you don't need to, now you are going to write a test class for this. Okay. And I mentioned here, don't worry about this writing test class for this because this is not straightforward scenario. You have to do lots of things to cover this area. And it's just a one line. So for one line, we don't take headache in the real time project. If it is taking lots of efforts, we can focus on other lines. So as of now, you don't worry about this because we are going to see one topic, how to bypass this errors. If you try to cover this area, then in some cases it will give error also. So in simple words, just for this add error, you don't worry about covering this line. It's just a one line. That's a minor thing. You can just neglect that and try to cover all the remaining things. Now let me show you here how this code is working. So please note currently logged user is Shekhar and definitely my email address is not James Ketty. Okay. So see what's going to happen. I'm going to enter some record. Let's say whatever last name, whatever rating, just doesn't matter, whatever company. Okay. Now I'm going to save this record. I'm not James Ketty means my email address is not James Ketty. My email address is my him. Okay. So if I just go to setup and go to manage users and click on users. So if I click on my name, so please note my email address is this. So definitely it's going to throw error for me. Okay. So now see what's going to happen. Click on new and write whatever name. Let's say Matthew and only compulsory thing I'm entering. Okay. Optional thing I'm skipping and anything like this and try to save. And please note this is how error will come. Okay. Simple. This is the functionality. Now the main thing is I want to write a test class for this. That is the main purpose why I conducted this session. It's not for this showing the scenario. The purpose is to show you how to write the test class for this. Now here I want to ask you a question. What do you think how we can cover this code? Just take 10 seconds from your side and tell me how you think we can cover this code. How we can cover this code. How I can write a test class. Whatever knowledge you have in test class, tell me what you think we should do. Yes, first answer in the person said that get trigger get called. Yes, correct. Trigger get called is the correct answer. So first of all, you will call a trigger. How you will call the trigger? How you will call the trigger? So you'll call a trigger by creating a record. Yes, very good. So first of all, create the record of lead. Absolutely correct. Okay, these are the correct answer. Other answers are wrong answers. Other answers are wrong answers. These answers correct. Create a record of lead. Then because of that trigger will be called. If trigger will be called, this class will be called. In this class, this function will be called. Now you are here. Now it will definitely get one record because in trigger.new, the record which you just inserted, that will be there, because whatever sample records you create for testing purpose, that will come here in trigger.new. In testing purpose also, that will come here. So definitely this for loop will get succeeded and entry will come. Then now it will check here user email. So what you do is you create a user in Salesforce before you start working on this test class. That is in the test class only because you know, before you start anything in the test class, you have to write some sample code. If you remember the pen example of test class, at the beginning we have created a record with Shaker and 100 rupees or $100 the price. So this way first you create a record. Okay. So like that you will first of all create a user record and we'll mention the current user email address is James. So you will also learn in today's example how we can create a user record in test classes. So we'll create a current user, that is James. So we will create a current record called as user. Okay. Then we will run the code. And then Salesforce will see who is the current user. We will clearly mention Salesforce that look, I am doing this insert as if or behalf of James. Then Salesforce will realize, okay, then the user email address is James. And then this will come here. And this way, this area will be covered and also record will be created. Second scenario is the email address without James. But at that time, it will come to this area, add error. And I told you, don't worry about this add error. You can neglect that because it has a different process. So just neglect that and just go with these scenarios. Except one line, your entire code will be covered. So you'll get a coverage around 90% plus. That's absolutely enough. And this way, test is successful. So the new thing for you to learn is how we can create a user during the test classes and how behalf of a user we can run the testing. That is what we have to do. So let me tell you the steps for the test class. Step number 1, create a lead record. Second, create before that, create a user record. Okay. And please note for James. Then create lead record. Third, insert record behalf of James. This is a very important thing. That is what actually the main purpose of planning this session. How to insert the record on behalf of someone. And done. Because as we are not interested in add error line. Okay. So we are not interested in entering the record where James is not a user. Okay. So skip it. We don't need to worry about one line. That's all. This way your code will be covered. Let me show you how. Now let me show you the test class. Here, look at the test class. First of all, here I'm writing a test class as per the best practice. Here my main class is lead create check apex. I'm writing test class lead create checks apex text. Okay. Now I'm getting a function. In that, first of all, I'm calling a profile from the database. If you remember your admin syllabus, we clearly discussed profile is compulsory for any user creation. Okay. So first of all, take one profile reference from the database. Any profile, that doesn't matter. Just take any profile. In my database, there is already finance profile. I'm taking that one. So the profile information will be in the profile. Okay. Now create a user record. This is standard object user. Give first name. give last name, give profile ID. Now profile ID you can give by this by default already created profile. Okay, because we are dependent in Salesforce existing profile. You cannot create a profile from your own. You have to be calling the existing profile only. So I called that profile and said, see, this profile ID is nothing but this guy's profile ID. Username, I can add anything, just anything. I added James Kitty. User email, now this is compulsory. Here I explicitly mention the email address of the user is James Kitty. And please note below lines are just formality. This is because you cannot save the user record unless you enter this information. User email encoding, language locale, etc. This is just a kind of formality having no connection to business. So if you tomorrow working on this kind of scenario in your project, you just copy and paste these lines. Nothing important, nothing necessary for this scenario. Only because while using the coding and creating the user, Salesforce says even you tell me email encoding, even you tell me time zone, even you tell me alias. That's compulsory. That's the only thing, or that's the only reason. Yes, you copy paste this line. Otherwise, having no connection to our business requirement at all. Fine. And now I'm inserting user. Now I'm inserting user. Here, please note, now user is ready. Okay. So now my user is ready. So now Salesforce knows that there is a user called as James. Okay. Because we should not take the data from our database unless we have such kind of exceptions like this. Okay. Otherwise, we should not. Next, now I'm saying system.run as. Now this is very important line. Now I'm saying Salesforce do one thing, run as if I'm James Kitty. So this system is a class, run as is a function, and I'm saying now here onwards, whatever I'm doing, run or do as a James Kitty, not as a shaker. Now in the James Kitty, you create a lead record, which is very simple line of code, and then insert lead record. Now if this lead is really created, then definitely there should be one ID for this lead. It should not be null. So what I'm saying, if var l.id is not equal to null, please note there is one more function, assert not equals. The way you saw in the regular sessions, assert equal, there is one more function to see whether these two things are not equal. So opposite. So if this id is not equal to null, then only fine. If both the things are matching, Salesforce throw error by saying it's failed. This way we can test. Okay. So let me repeat again everything and see here. First of all, I need to see whether the record is inserted properly or not when the user is James Kitty. But I'm not James Kitty, I'm Shaker. So in this case, how can I do testing? Very simple. First of all, you create a user in Salesforce by this code. In this, only these lines are important. Below all the lines are not important. It's just a formality because Salesforce will not allow you to proceed ahead. That's why we have to just fill this formality information. Just copy paste we do. Even in our real-time project, we just do copy and paste. Okay. Next. So user is ready. That is James Kitty. Now I'm saying to Salesforce, now do one thing. Don't work as a shaker. Work as a James Kitty. That's possible by system.run as. So please note, whenever you want to check anything behalf of any user in the company, in your job, system.run as is the only solution for you. So say I want to run as this user. Who is that? James Kitty. Simple. And now after that, I'm going to insert a lead record. If it is really working, then the code will come in this for loop and this line will be covered. Problem solved. So now let me show you the output. Let me copy this test class and let me now work now or show you the test class also. And here we go. So this is the test class. And by the way, here Robert is a lead record. It is having no connection to James. Please note it's a record. It's a data. Okay. So please Don't have even a 1% confusion in this. Please note this is the data. This is lead data. So this data should be created by James. Please note this point. Robert is not vendor. Robert is just a data. And to make it more easy for you, let me just write AAA, BBB, no headache. Simple. Okay. For those people who are having lack of concentration, for them to make it easy, I'm writing just AAA, BBB or just whatever. So please note this point. It's a data. It's having no connection to the user. Okay. Please this point. Now instead of lead, I can write the same logic for pen record. First name Shaker, price 200. Or I can write the same for the another object called as deal. Company name IBM, deal amount $5,000 and location is New York. So this way we can work for any object. This is not related to James Kitty. Please note this point. Okay. So the rule is only James Kitty should be able to work on this. I hope everyone is clear. Now let me save this test class. Okay. So now after this, run the test class. This lead record should be only created by James. If it is James, then please note the test class should work. You can see test class working. Now just do one thing. Go to main class. Go to first of all trigger and see whether it's getting covered. Yes, all the lines are getting covered. Go to this and see whether this is covered and look at this. All the lines is covered except this add error. I told you already, don't worry about add error. It has a very different requirement and different things you need to write and many things still here you need to know. Please note many things or many lines we can cover. In this case, skip the add error. This way, the intention of testing behalf of someone is completed. So tomorrow, whenever you have to test behalf of someone, you can test it. And now here, this is what the code is. This is the code from my current project. Anyone is having any kind of question, queries, please proceed. Otherwise, we are going to close the session. Our agenda is over. Please note, this is a very useful code for creating user. Tomorrow, when you are going to write this code, just copy this code. I'm going to send you. Just copy this code. Just change this or change this or change this. Otherwise, just copy and paste. You can do this testing for any scenarios. Okay. And good. So good to see that everyone is saying clear. And please note the final thing as a moral. Please note here. And please note and please note here that in this case here this is the minimum fields need for user creation. Okay, and this is exactly the same step you have learned in the security topic. In the security you create a user and here in the security we created the user and we added some basic information. Same thing here. Okay, so please note this point. Any other question? So please note what you should go or what you should have as a kind of takeaway thing after this course, after this session is point number one, you should learn how to create a user by coding with minimum fields required. Second thing, how we can switch the user from the current user, behalf of that another user. That's all. These are the only two things. Yeah, and one more thing. Third, there is one more function called as not equals, like equals, to ensure these two things are not equal. That's it. These are the three things I want you guys to learn. If you learn these three things, if you are clear with this, you have successfully attended this bonus session. Thank you for coming to this bonus session. I'm going to close the session now. Have a good time.